This is NOScast episode 5.
Episode
That was a
5.
cringy ass fuck intro, but fuck it. But let's go on. So, Itchy, how do you feel about the copyright system as in today?
I'm glad it has limitations, but I'm tired of seeing big ass companies buy it out to extend these limitations, to extend the time frame. I know you are happy to see these things not having limitations.
Okay, my whole thing is this is my thing, and I feel like if that is yours, you should have it past your death. Your family should have it. Your grandkids should have it. The whole shit. That should never be taken away from you, at all.
But you're dead. Your
I
family
know you're.
your family
I
didn't work
okay.
for it. You did.
All right. Okay. I get that part, but it's still it's still theirs. Like, yeah, they didn't do nothing for it to be theirs or whatnot. They didn't do anything about it, but it is theirs because they're a part of your family. They're part of you. You know what I'm saying? So it should be theirs, even though they didn't do nothing for it. They didn't work for it. Nothing. The whole nine. It should be theirs.
Yeah, but that's
The
hard to enforce when family is not just a linear line. Like you're not just getting oh yeah, this person gets it, this person gets it. After a couple generations, it's oh yeah, I have this branch of family, this branch of family. Which family is gonna fucking deserve it? Once you get to a certain point, it's gonna be spread so thin. If your family, if you're multiplying, that is, if you're a poor
if you're
lineage,
multiplying.
not poor as in poor money, but poor lineage, meaning you're not actually growing as a family throughout the generations, then that, yeah, that make oh yeah, that's straightforward. But with a multiplying lineage, after a couple generations, it's gonna not make any sense on who actually deserves that, and how much is there actually going to be to spread out.
Well, I feel like okay. Here's the thing. I feel like it should be. How do I put this? How do I put this into play? Okay, let's say I made Mickey Mouse. Okay, let's say I made
Right.
Mickey Mouse. Mickey
Which
Mouse
in
is mine
until what?
Mickey Mouse is mine until I die. That's the whole
Yep.
thing,
And
and then I
20
have
years
it for
after that.
20, and then 20 years after that, it can go to everybody. Okay, cool. Here's the thing. My wife and children should have that. And then their grandchildren should have it. And then grandchildren, or my grandchildren should have that. And then, go down, then down, then down, then down, then down, then down, and down. My cousins shouldn't have it. My aunties and uncles shouldn't have it. Grandmas,
Okay,
whatever.
you say your grandchildren should have it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you have two children, right? So those are your two
Mm-hmm.
children. So then your grandchildren, let's say each of your two children have two children. So then you have
Mm-hmm.
four grandchildren. Now imagine your grandchildren, each of them have two children. So what's 4 times 2? 8.
8.
Okay. And now imagine each of them have two grandchildren. What's 8 times 2?
16.
Okay. And now so forth. 16 times 2. 16 times 2
I get
times
your
2.
picture. I get your picture. I get your picture. Like, I know it's I don't know, a delicate thing, but I just feel I get why they do it and whatnot. That's just the way it is. But I just feel like that, and if they want to get rid of it or want to sell it, okay, cool. But I feel like the family should have that mobility to do that. If they want to sell it, then sell it. If they don't, then they have it forever until somebody in the family wants to sell it for money. That's my thing. That's my thing. I like Disney or whatever his face is should be able to have Mickey Mouse forever.
Right, right. But imagine, okay, so many authors and artists see creative thought as developing incrementally, not in a vacuum.
Hmm.
So these people, they have inspiration, obviously, right? So
Hmm.
if somebody was to, like, 30 years from now, like, Mickey Mouse is supposed to be on the public domain in, like, 2023. So
Hmm.
like, like 50 years from now, even once it's out in public domain, I doubt a lot of people are going to be going. Actually, probably a lot of like companies trying to make a cheap buck, probably going to make a lot of Mickey Mouse stuff. But I doubt anybody with real creative aspiration is going to be just knocking off Mickey Mouse stuff in 2023. But imagine, like, 50 years from now, like, somebody incrementally uses the work that which should have been in the 80s, been already in the public domain, but Disney kind of pushed that off. Um, but, like, imagine somebody years from now goes and tries to incrementally work on the works of Walt Disney, which,
Hmm.
you know, like, not just using the stories he's already written with Mickey Mouse, not just doing that, but, like, maybe a cameo, maybe a character inspired by Mickey Mouse, but is not
Hmm.
Mickey Mouse. Um, if copyright terms were to go for generations and generations, people who had nothing to do with the inception of Mickey Mouse would be able to dictate whether or not that is possible. Um, and also, like, this goes well beyond Mickey Mouse. Like, there's a lot of characters out in the public domain. If this stuff would have been copyrighted and, like, stayed forever, imagine a lot of these Disney movies, even that were from the public domain, that would have not have been able to be made because of copyright. Also, you're
Which
breathing
you are.
really heavy into the mic.
Oh, my bad. No, because I was what's it called? I think my fan. Can you hear my fan? I'm not sure. But anyway, I see where you're coming from. I do. Let me just turn this off. I see where you're coming from. I do, but it's like, yeah, if what's it called? If copyright was a thing where it went on for generations and generations and generations and so on and so forth, Disney wouldn't have made Marvel the way it is. Disney wouldn't have done Star Wars the way it is now. A lot of stuff happened in a good way because of this copyright thing. And I get that and understand that. And you know,
Well, the whole Marvel thing in
Disney did a good job with these,
yeah, but that's
Marvel
not the
and
same. That's not the same thing I'm talking about. I'm saying, like, copyright has a limitation and will eventually go into the public domain. The thing with
yeah,
Marvel and what else did you say? You said Marvel and
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Yeah, so that wasn't the same deal as this copyright thing.
Yeah.
Like, under
Luke
Marvel,
Luke got rid
they
of
were
Star
sold
Wars.
off of it. The family
Yeah.
of Stan Lee sold Marvel because that he was still, even though he was dead, it was still under his name for 20 years after his death. His family would have been
Hmm.
able to make all the money on it for 20 years after his death.
Hmm. See, okay. See, I didn't even know his family sold it.
Yeah.
Family.
Like,
See,
that
now
wasn't, yeah, that wasn't
that is
because
different.
the copyright traded hands. Marvel never went into the public domain.
Yeah. See, now that's different. If the family sells it, all bets are off.
Yeah,
You
but
get what I'm saying?
I'm really, like, I really am for the public domain existing. I'm really for the retirement of copyright after a certain amount of time. I'm also for copyright because copyright is a great thing for creativity. It's a protection on the creator. But at the same
Yeah.
time, because creativity is generally an incremental work, those people are standing on the backs of giants. They look at previous creators to be able to create what they have created. And having this limitation on it, for at least a certain amount of time, because, like, having the copyright will force other people to have to come up with original ideas. But at the same time, a lot of original ideas come from ideas that have happened from the past. So having a limitation on creativity, and the length of time that it can be held, and it's already a good thing that it's lasting at least the person's full life. I don't even think
Yeah.
it used to last a person's full life in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I'd say I'm for it lasting the person's full life, and it's lasting even beyond the person's full life. But as I explained earlier, I don't think it should go down for generations and generations, because what can be harvested out of it, as in value, the value that can be harvested out of it is a what's the term, a logarithmic decline,
Yeah.
because of how generations work. Because of, if you just simply have two kids and they have two kids and two kids and two kids and so forth, it's going to multiply out to how many people are going to be deserving of that. Because you're saying the lineage is from parent to child, not to cousins and stuff. But that those kids generations down the line are technically the great X number of great grandchildren of the original creator. So like, even if it's like millions of dollars, they only get a penny. So like, there's no value out of that. And who has the say of like who can use it? Because like with the case of Stan Lee and stuff like that, and like with Star Wars having the original creator sell it off, like that was a real easy thing, because it was a small number of people who had control over it, not a large number of people, which would be said like generations down the line. With that many people in control over a domain, it's going to be nearly impossible to be able to dictate whether or not something can be released.
Well, I see where you're coming from, but if it was me, I wouldn't want my shit to just be sold off because I'm dead 20 years later.
It's not be
Anyway,
it's your thing still exists. You created the
well,
original
yeah,
idea.
yeah, but
The work you've done still exists. You're not gonna feel the money 20 years down the line. That's plenty enough to be able to like pay for your family. But like the generations and generations stuff, it's not gonna make any sense. It's not gonna make any sense at all, because of like how little power each, if just like if it's a family growth. If you have a linear line, which is a very um non-sustainable thing, like it's sustainable if you can maintain that line, but like even a small waiver, it's not sustainable in your lineage, and eventually it'll probably whimper out. um but like having it last generations, it's just not a, like you're getting a degrading value. I know what you're saying. You want your people to be able to, you want your kingdom to last well beyond you, but the work you made is not really like for that, because like it's a diminishing return at that point. Like, you put the work out into the world for people to enjoy, especially it's in
mhm.
a creative aspect, because if you go into copyright and the whole medical side of things, that's a whole different set of laws for that
I
type of
was gonna.
copyright.
That's nobody. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like like we were talking about before, the medical side, like that goes into like a whole different type of shit
Right.
of copyright.
There's a shorter period of time. Like, it's not till death with that type of copyright. But like with these creative things, like putting things into to the Creative Commons, or whatever it's called, like it's already changed plenty of times, and it's been extended and extended, and like
Hmm.
generations and generations. Like, yeah, you're worried about it staying in the family, but it's really degrading returns, degrading returns over the
Well,
generations.
yeah, but it's like I don't know, like me as like if I did ever own something, I would want it to be with my family for the rest of life, past my life,
Right.
past my grandchildren's life, to be with it forever. And I get like it's degrading or whatever, but
But
it's
like,
like
wouldn't you want people to be able to celebrate you, like to be able to not steal it, but to jump off your shoulders? Because what you'd pretty much be doing is taking away a lot of the ability for people to jump off of your shoulders, which is what a lot of art is standing on.
well,
You're not completely
yeah,
taking it
but
away, but you'd be taking a lot of that ability away.
Well, I'm saying like, but then people can use my work. Excuse me, that was disrespectful. People can use my work for money. You know, people can make when Mickey Mouse goes where anyone can use it, they can make Mickey Mouse for money. You know what I'm saying? They can use
Right.
it for money. As in right now they can't because there's a contract and
Yeah,
copyright.
copyright. Yeah.
No one can make money off of Mickey Mouse. Just
So
like
you're
no one
saying
can make
people would
money.
be able to make money off of your work? Then you're for the limitation of copyright.
No, 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 no. I don't. Okay, you didn't let me finish. I don't want people to make money off of my work.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Unless I sell it, then that like I said, it's anybody's game after that. If I sold it and I'm still alive or whatever, or if my family members after I die and whatever sell it and they don't want the money, they just want the money that they made from it and the whole nothing, call it a day. Then it's anybody's game. Who gives a fuck after that? Who cares? It doesn't matter anymore. Anyone can make money off of it then after that.
Right.
But I don't want if it's my work, I don't want no one making money off of it besides
I would
me.
I would just propose that possibly like with what you're saying is the likelihood of your work dying out would be much higher than the likelihood of a work that does go into the Creative Commons of dying out. You would be less remembered if you hope your family along generations and generations will agree to be able to come to a conclusion of what to do with your work. Unless you form a like your family forms a giant corporation like Disney who where it's not really controlled by the family of the originator like at all.
Hmm.
Like unless your family ends up like that, which is like not at all like that would be pretty much have nothing to do with you except with your name. Like I don't know what you'd call it, like Walt Patton or something like that. Like
Walt Patton? What the fuck? Walt Patton? That's weird.
I'm just
See,
making
Walt Disney goes together. Walt Patton
no, but Walt
doesn't
Disney
go
was his
together.
name. That was his name. That's
Yeah,
why,
I know,
yeah,
but
I
like,
was just making a connection. Like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
unless
totally.
unless something like that happens to you, um, your whole copyright thing would like go out the window because like you want to be remembered, right? That's kind of the
Well,
point of these things existing. Like
yeah, who
you would
who
be,
doesn't want to be
it would be
remembered
more
for what they
likely
do?
for you to let generations and generations, if it doesn't ever go into Creative Commons, it's more likely for it to just drop off the face of the earth, and you will be less remembered. Because one reason why if Mozart or something like that was like not ever put into the Creative Commons, then like oh yeah, you must like people. A lot of people listen to Mozart not because they like it, but because a lot of people listen to it because they like it, but like, music theory and stuff like that. But like it would have a higher barrier of entry if it wasn't in the Creative Commons. You think people
Yeah.
would you think people would pay like that? I mean, there's definitely people that would pay like that to go see it in a concert, but like the cost of it, like it's free. That song's free, and a lot of these older songs are free, and they can be used, they can be mixed and whatever, because like a lot of people do use classical music in mixing and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It can
Well,
be mixed.
definitely. Like, see, when I know, I know we talked about this before, like that you said if you putting music in a different standard or a different form is putting down music when I'm not doing that. It's like music, yes, like you said, music is a point of art
Yeah,
in some way,
it's art.
shape, or
It
form.
is a hundred
Yeah,
percent art. It's not some way,
yeah,
shape, or form. You saying that is literally separate, putting a line right there. And I'm saying there should be no line put there. It's art. If it's art, it's art. Like if like art doesn't necessarily. There's visual arts. There's auditory arts.
yeah. There's
There's
different type of arts. That's what I was
yeah.
saying.
But it's
Shape or
art.
some.
But
Yeah,
like you're trying to make like these
but like, but people, I don't know. Like my whole thing is like people have been mixing music for years,
right, and people have
decades.
been creating their own versions of
Yeah,
paintings for years, not painting over the original painting because the original painting still exists. It doesn't
yeah.
delete the original painting from existence, but like people have been taking inspiration from other paintings, and it's very noticeable
Okay.
that the inspiration has been
But
taken.
do these people make money off these paintings?
Yes.
See, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Like,
If
so
I painted something, I want my family to make all the money off of it.
yeah, but you're not painting the exact painting is what I'm saying. You're
You're
jumping
adding
off
some.
you're jumping off
you're
the shoulders
adding.
of giants.
Well, yeah, you're adding touches, just like in music, you're adding touches and whatnot to
But
it.
you don't agree.
But music is different. That's
It's
what like
not.
music is different in a way.
It's not.
Music. I know you say it's not, but music is. I feel like to me, this is my opinion. In your opinion, it's your opinion. I feel like music is different in a way. Music. I'm not putting down music in any way, shape, or form. I know that's what it seems like, or how you're
It
putting.
definitely
Like I'm
you're
putting.
making it sound like
But
it's a lesser form of art.
no, but like, I'm not. That's not my intent. Like I'm just saying, like, adding a touch to music, because people, you know what trap music is, right? Or like
Yeah.
dubstep
Yeah.
and whatever. People use like a Drake song or Katy Perry song or whatever, and they add this another touch to it to make it better, to make it more like
Yeah, but
to
how's
make
that?
it sound
How is
newer.
how's a visual form of art any different than that? You're taking, let's say, something from Van Gogh, and like you're using the same style as Van Gogh, but like a completely different picture. Like it's the same
Okay,
like Starry Night
Defined
shit.
by
but, like,
by a completely different picture. Like
You're
what
adding-
we get.
You're saying people are taking Katy Perry songs, taking Drake songs, and they add these other beats to it. How is that any different to somebody taking a painting using the style of Van Gogh, using like the Starry Night style, but like painting their bedroom? But they're not painting the actual painting of Starry Night on their bedroom. They're painting us in the style of Starry Night. How is that any
Okay.
different than the remix that you're talking about?
Okay. My thing is making money.
Those people
See-
that do that make money. They can make money doing that.
Okay,
They're
but I'm
not
saying like,
copying
but, okay,
they're
but
not
use the
copying it.
bedroom. Like, if someone painted, of course, anyone can paint a painting of Van Gogh in their bedroom and call it a day. Anyone can do that. Anyone can mix a song. And
I'm not talking about
put out
painting
for-
on their wall. I'm saying like they paint a picture of their bedroom in the style of Starry Night, and they be able to
Oh,
sell
okay,
it
yeah.
in the style of Starry Night, using the same artistic structures that Van Gogh has used, or the artistic structures.
Okay. Okay, what do you mean? Okay, so like, let's say my bedroom, and I
Right.
use that style and the whole stuff, but as a picture of my bedroom or a painting of my bedroom, I feel like that's totally different. I feel like you could. I feel like as
But it's a
long as
remix.
you're-
It's a remix of Starry Night. It's a remix of Starry Night. It's using
Yeah,
the same
like-
styles, the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same
But
thing
it's
as
not-
remixing music. They're stealing the style from Van Gogh and making a completely original picture. It's a remix.
Okay. Okay. So, like, let's put it all together. You use the style of whatever, and you put it into your bedroom and you paint it, but it's not the picture. It's your bedroom.
Yeah, just
So
like
you
that
look
song
at-
is not
you
the
look-
Katy Perry song. It's a completely new song. It's a remix. Just like that
Yeah.
song's not that Drake song.
That-
It's the same. It's on the same level.
Okay, in that way, that is okay. If you do your thing,
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
feel like
I'm not saying
I
using the
feel like
exact
you
same
can
thing.
make. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you can make money. I feel like you should be able to make money on that.
Right. And a lot of those
If you
works, a lot of
use
those,
if you use your bedroom or someone else's bedroom, not that bedroom, but someone else's bedroom, you should be able to make money on it. If you use his style and whatnot and the whole, I feel like you should be able to make money on that.
right, and that's the same thing as you talking about remixes.
Yeah, you should be
Yeah.
able to make.
And that's still
Then what
different.
the hell were you talking about? Like
That's what I was talking about. You were disagreeing with me, and that's exactly what I was saying the whole time. I was trying to explain to you that music is no different than any other form of art.
Okay, I feel like if you
And there's also
I feel
songs
like
out
if-
there that are in Creative Commons. Like you can literally sing that
I know.
song, like and make
What-
money on
okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah. What I'm saying is, if you use an art format, whatever, and you put your face, but it's like, but what's the one where it's a picture of the girl and whatever and whatnot? And it's a big famous picture and
I know
whatnot,
what you're talking
like in
about.
Europe and whatnot.
I know
I
what you're
forget what
talking
it's
about.
called. It's been put in memes
Mona
and
Lisa.
stuff and all. Mona Lisa. Who painted that, by the way? Mona Lisa. I forget who painted that.
Leonardo da Vinci, I think.
Leonardo, yeah, Leonardo da Vinci. I almost said Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo da Vinci or whatever. Now, let's say if you put your face, like you put your face and body, but you make it look like that picture, but it's like meant to be like as a joke. You get what I'm saying? I feel like you should be able to make money off of that.
If you were to, yeah, you can.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you don't paint that picture the same and then put out that I want to make money off it, I feel like you shouldn't be able to make money off it. But if you paint your face or let's say your mom or sister or aunt, whatever, you should be able to make money off it because it's not that it's the style of that picture, but it's not that picture. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
you should make money off of that.
yeah, you can.
That's okay. I feel like that is acceptable. But if you like, let's say, paint the same picture and put it up on eBay and say, I want to make money off of this, I feel like you shouldn't be able to make money off of it.
No, because that's like I forgot the name of it. I think forgery or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's illegal. Unless it's in the Creative Commons. If it's in the Creative Commons, it's fine. Because there's pictures, there's drawings that are in the Creative Commons, there's paintings that are in the Creative Commons. If you were to copy that painting exactly, you'd be perfectly fine. There's
Wait,
there's
wait,
characters.
what do you mean?
I'm saying stuff in the Creative Commons, which is part of the limitation of copyright. And some people put things directly in the Creative Commons, like they don't keep it's not copyrighted like forever. And obviously, originals are going to have a higher value. Like paintings and stuff in Creative Commons, the copy of it is considered a recreation, and a recreation is not usually not valued the same as the original unless the painter of the recreation is more famous than the original artist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's paintings in Creative Commons, there's drawings, like artwork and like
Mm-hmm.
physical visual artworks in Creative Commons. There's movies in the Creative Commons, characters in the Creative Commons. Like Pinocchio is Creative Commons. Anybody can make a Pinocchio, anybody can make a Cinderella. But like you think of those names and like you think Disney usually because you know they and Disney themselves have gladly they've taken stuff from the Creative Commons, but like they don't want to put back in. They're more than willing to take from the artistic community, and they're not putting back in as much.
Well, yeah, I feel like that was bad on Disney's part.
Like
But
they've benefited so much from the Creative Commons.
yeah, they did, and I feel like that was. I feel like they that was bad on Disney part. I feel like they shouldn't have done that, but
You
yes,
think
it
you
did.
feel like they shouldn't have like because it's the Creative Commons. It's perfectly fine. I'm more than happy of them using that
Wait.
work because it's perfectly fine. It's legal. It's legal for
Oh,
them to do.
you talk. Oh, so okay, my bad.
They
See,
took from the Creative
I was.
Commons, but like
Yeah.
for them to take from it and not want to put back in, like for their work to be able to stand on the shoulders of giants, like not necessarily those giants being rich. I'm saying like works that have been existing in the past, works that were not originally their idea, like that's the reason why these copyrights have a limitation. Like the people for generations don't see these works because like the Pinocchio and stuff like that, like yeah, there's Pinocchios back then, but like nobody was watching it, and then boom, Disney makes a Pinocchio movie. That's why it goes into Creative Commons, because like
Yeah,
later down the line it's like, oh, nobody's done this for a long time. Like we can revive somebody's work. We can revive work that's obviously
but
good.
but see, that's the point of Disney. Disney is a big enough company that they can be able to do whatever the fuck they
They
want.
did that before they were that big. Like I mean
I
they were
know, but
big
I'm
and stuff,
saying,
but like
but now, but
but that's Creative Commons. You
well
can make
when
a Pinocchio movie. I can make a
yeah, well
Pinocchio movie. You
well
can
yeah,
make a
but
Cinderella movie. I can make a
okay,
Cinderella. You can make a Beauty and the Beast movie.
yeah, I get that. When did
Actually,
Disney come out? Like
I
what?
don't even know if Beauty and the
Ni-
Beast is.
what didn't Disney come out like? What 1940s? Some shit like that.
I don't
Even
know.
probably earlier than that. Some shit like that. I don't know. But yeah, they were big in 1940s. They weren't as big as they are fucking now. Shit. But they were big in 1940s, yeah. But that's in 1940s it was a lot different. It was a lot different in
Yeah, the
1940s.
copyright law was even shorter back then.
I know, but that's
The
what I'm saying. It was a
limitation.
lot. It was a lot different in 1940s.
Right.
So, and now since Disney's even bigger and huge and ginormous, and everyone knows who Disney is, like everybody in the world knows who Disney is. Disney's able to do now whatever the fuck they want. They can get away with murder, which they probably have before. Disney is able to do whatever the fuck they want
I don't think
because
you
they're
should put
so.
anybody on a pedestal like that.
Well, when you're that big, you kind of like have to
No, you
type
don't.
shit.
Not at all.
Disney has so much power that they are able to do whatever they want. Like Microsoft, Sony, like all these big giant corporations, huge, ginormous, billions of dollars of money corporations are able to do whatever the fuck they want. And the government can't do nothing about it. That's why. It
Because
that's that's why, Pinocchio and all this won't go back into these other shits. It's
no, the
because
Pinocchio is in the Creative Commons. It's not going. It's still there. You can make a Pinocchio movie. You could do all that. It's perfectly legal.
but can Disney sue?
No, they can't because it's in the Creative Commons. You can't
Okay,
remove something.
so what have they took from the Creative Commons and won't give back then? That's
No,
still out
no,
of the
they
Creative Commons.
won't. They won't. They've taken from the Creative Commons. I'm not saying they stole stuff from the Creative Commons and keeping people from making it. I'm saying they've taken from it, but they're not putting stuff into it.
Yeah, because Disney wants all the money. Disney doesn't want money to lose. Even though they're a $1 billion company, they got money for centuries and centuries and centuries. They want to keep everything. It's like you're in poker. You want all the money. You want all the money to be yours. And don't
Yeah.
care about anybody else. That's what Disney and Microsoft and EA and Activision, that's how all these motherfuckers work.
Right.
Is they want all the money. They want the big pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
So don't you
That's
think
what
that should be limited, like with something like copyright limitations, like how long they can actually own that? Because like you're the one not benefiting from it. They are. Like the reason why these have limitations is so like it can go back out to the community, to the rest of the people, to be able to continue the work, to be able to jump off the shoulders, to be able
I,
to.
I feel like if the original owner sold it, but I feel like then it should be able to go. I feel like there should be a deadline
There is a
of how
deadline.
long. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If the original creator, like Stan Lee or whoever, had it and then they sold it, then there should be a deadline of who can have it. If they didn't sell it and the original creator still has it even after death and whatnot, they should be able to have it forever.
But like that doesn't make any, because like the deadline. Okay, so if a original creator sold it and what it is 20 years after the original creation. So like they sell
Yeah,
it
yeah.
and 20 years after the original creation, and then but like you don't think there should be a deadline even like after death, like because like then
No.
like we come into that problem of generational bridging, generation or whatever you want to call it, generational expanse, and that's going to to cause a issue with being able to continue on the work, to because like
Yeah,
it's going to cause a big issue with that.
but it's my work. I did the work. It's mine. My family should have it if I die.
But they won't be able to benefit from it like generations down the line. Like the first 20 years is like you're dead 20 years, like your family 20 years. They'll be able to benefit greatly from it if your work is really that good. But like generations down the line, even if your work was amazing, generations down the line, if you have a fruitful multiplying family, nobody's going to be able to benefit very much, even if it is a big work still that long down the line.
Okay, I feel like there should be a better way to handling who should have the pot of gold.
So like you don't think, because you originally said like your children,
Okay,
and then the children's
okay.
children, but like
I
because
feel
that's a multiply, like what are you gonna
yeah,
be like?
yeah.
Oh yeah, on this
I
side of the
feel like
family. So you're literally cutting out half of them, and then like after every couple generation, you cut out half again, just so it's a
no.
small enough pot, or like just so
What?
it's a
Okay,
small.
what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if I have two children, we're not gonna go 4, 6, 10, whatever. If I
But
have
then you're
two
cutting it
children,
short. Yeah, you have two children.
let's okay, they have it.
Right.
Okay, then they have it till they die, and then the next people have it.
The
My
next people, so they're,
grandchildren.
but like
Then
that's,
they
but that, remember if you're talking about a multiplying, because you're going down that line, but you're forgetting the fact that it's generally a multiplicity. It grows, multiplies.
yes, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. If I have two children,
Right.
and if I die, they have it. Not my grandchildren, my
Yeah.
children.
But
Okay?
and then when
And
they
have,
die,
and they die, then my grandchildren have it.
so
And
that's
they
still the
have
same
it till
thing.
they die,
Yeah.
but it's lessened. It's not like if my children have grandchildren, then they automatically have it. No. It's I have it, then I die, or I have it, then I die, and then my wife or whoever I'm with or whatever has it. And then when she dies, then my children have it.
That's
Then when my
still the
children
same problem.
die,
That's still the same problem.
not
No,
necessarily
it's
because
100% the same problem
it's
because
still smaller. It's still
it goes down
smaller, is it?
it goes down to through the generations, just like I'm saying. It's less and less control per person as it goes down, because like let's say you're the original creator, you're the owner, right? You die, your wife gets it. She has 100% control. Then when she dies, your two children have it, so then they have 50-50 control. They die, their spouse has it, and like they still have 50-50 control over it. And then when their spouse dies, your great grandchildren have it. And then
Yeah.
that's an even like smaller. It's still the same problem I was saying. It still multiplies out. It's exactly the same problem. It's just with extra steps. It's the same problem with extra steps.
But
It doesn't change anything. It's still the same problem, and you're going to have like individual control over it is going to be a much bigger problem, and then it's going to have to become an agreement on whether or not a piece of work can be released or not, instead of it being one person. Like you originally would be able to be one person to be able to dictate whether or not something gets released or whether or not something doesn't get released. And
Okay.
generations down the line, it's going to be
So-
like a bunch of people have to make the decision. And if it's not just one person, a bunch of people would have to make that decision.
So let's look like this. I know we're talking in circles, but fuck it. Let's look like this. What about that person gets to choose who has it? So let's say I die, my wife gets it. My
So
wife
you're
has
talking
the
about it
decision.
being inheritance. Like it would be like you'd be able to put it in your will, be like, you get this. And then like if you
And
never put it in your will, they'd be like, oh well, I'm gonna fight over who gets that. Like whoever dies.
well,
Like
something like that. Like it's if I die, if in my will, I'll give it to my wife or who I'm on with at the time. I'll give it to them. Then in my whoever I'm with will, they give it to that someone else. Now, if now whoever I'm with at the time just spreads like you get it, get it, then it's all fucked. Like then we're back to square one, like you were saying or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, and beforehand, you explain to all of them, look, this is how it works and blah, blah, blah. If we spread it, there's going to be trouble. So you give it to one person, you're always going to get the, well, I want it, well, I want it, well, I want it, well, I want it. I deserve it. Da, 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 da. You're going to get that. Because who doesn't want a big pot of gold?
Right, and I can understand what you're saying, but I am extremely I'm pro Creative Commons, and what you're saying, I could definitely see how it works, but it's less benefit overall. Like that one person, maybe the person that gets it, not creative at all, and they have no fucking clue what to do with this, so they forget they even have it. They die. They're like they get that fighting over it when they die. Like maybe it'll land into a creative person in your family down the line. Maybe they'll sell it off. Like who knows? Like
well, that's what I'm saying. Like
I could see how it works, but like I am extremely for the Creative Commons. I am extremely for limitations on copyright.
Well, I could see the good with it. I could see the good with it, but I also see like
The good
if
with
I
what?
was with the Creative Commons and stuff, like like where you're able to like make something that hasn't been made for a while and bring it back up into the surface. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
and you wouldn't want that to happen for your work. You wouldn't like to be
I wouldn't
praised in that
want. Well, I'm not saying I would. I would want my family to make all the money, and when I die, even past 20 years. But now that I'm thinking about it, I would want a certain person to have it. So I wanted to like, if I die, my grandma gets it, or my mom gets it, my dad gets it. It just spreads. No, I want it to stay in the family, but I want it to eventually drop down into shit.
You want it to eventually go into the Creative Commons?
No, I'm saying I want it to like. You're saying like it will spread fast. People live for hundreds of years, so it won't spread as fast as you think. So
I'm
when
not saying
like
it'll spread that fast. I'm just saying like after a couple generations. A generation is a full lifetime.
Which will take a long time for it to happen.
Right.
Maybe some people wouldn't want it. You get what I'm saying? And give their share off to somebody else. Like,
Right.
let's say I have a son and a daughter, or let's say I just have two children. This is two children, and let's say one of the child doesn't want it and just gives it to the full child, to that person. Then they're able to do whatever the fuck they want to do to it. They don't have to ask nobody nothing. They can just do whatever they want with it.
So you're
So if they
good
wanna
you're
sell
good
it-
with a linear transition, and it'd probably end up being sold off that way. And to be
Well,
honest,
yeah,
with
well,
you,
that's what I'm saying. If they don't want it and they want to sell it,
and then you're saying if it gets sold off, then it has a 20-year time span.
then like it should have a limitation to whoever has it.
See, I can get by with that, but I still think because like none of your like you made it. You're the one who deserves it for your life. I don't.
Yeah.
I believe Creative Commons is a great thing, and I believe limitation on copyright in that way is a great thing, because I agree. Your family should deserve some money on it. I believe, but I don't think having it go down generations and generations is really like, because 20 years after your life, you know what? If your immediate family, like your children would be able to sell it, but like your grandchildren, who would have literally like had almost nothing to do with like your grandchildren might have met you like as an old person, but like would have like they wouldn't have it. They wouldn't get it. Your children would have it, and they'd be able to sell it for millions of dollars, and then your grandchildren would be able to benefit off of that millions of dollars or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of what it already is like. Like you have that 20 years after you die, and there
And
you
the
go.
family's gonna make the most
family
money as
can make,
possible.
Yeah, they'll be able to
And
make as
then
much.
once that 20 years comes up, they sell it.
Or
And
no,
then
after the
they're-
20 years comes up, it's not selling at that point. Because if they keep it throughout that 20 years, they'd be able to make all the works they want with it. They can sell it before that 20 years is up and make because if they don't know what to do with it, because a lot of times
Well, that's what
your
I'm-
family
well, that's
isn't
what I'm
creative.
saying.
Like if you're a creative
Yeah.
person, the likelihood of your family being as creative as you are
Creative is very
is
slim.
yeah, which is why these works, like typically like with Marvel, they get sold off. They get sold
Well,
off,
that's
and the
what I'm.
family of Marvel was the family of Stan Lee was able to benefit from the money in that
Well,
aspect.
that's okay. That's what I'm saying. That my family holds it off for as long as they can, and once they feel like okay, someone else should have it, bada bing, bada boom, I'm I'm all hands up. I'm all on
You
deck.
just think it should be longer than 20. You think it should just
I
continue.
feel like it should continue. I feel like it should be the family's job or family's thing to sell it off. If
So
they
like
want to.
if they forget it after 20 years and they still have it, then they just keep it for generations until they do decide to sell it.
Yeah, I feel like a family should have it for and then when they ever want to sell it, all hands on deck. It's anyone's ball game. Then that whole shit should 20 years and whatnot should come into play. If Disney, Microsoft, whoever owns it, Sony, whatever, should have that 20 years. I'm okay with that. But I feel like the family should have the right if they want to sell it or not. They
Which
shouldn't
they
have
do
it
for at least that 20
Yeah,
years.
yeah, but they shouldn't have that taken away from them after 20 years. Oh, not everyone's able to make money off your grandfather, father, great-grand, whatever, work. And you're not going to make a damn off of it. That's me.
You could have sold it earlier.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You could have made money off of it earlier.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If my family forgets about it and they forget to sell it or whatever, oopsies.
Oopsies. Like they keep it, they still keep it, because like the oopsies is how it works now, pretty much. Like if they forget to sell
like oopsies. Like I feel like my family should have the right to sell it whenever they want to.
Even if it's
Just
like they want to hold on to
even
it for
if
20 years,
even if it's longer than 20, 40, whatever, because some families have a connection to that. It's their last piece of that person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
And selling it would be able to allow it to keep being made, and they'd be like, well, my husband, my wife, they made that original work, and I'm glad to see it continuing on.
Well, yeah, like
because like I wouldn't have been able to continue it, but because like somebody else can, the likelihood of it being sold off before 20 years is pretty high.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but some people have that last piece. Besides, all his work is there, whatever. But they have that last piece of that's theirs, and that reminds them of them and the whole night. And they sell it off. They don't lose it, but it's like it's out in the wilderness now. You get what I'm saying? It's not gone, but like it's.
Well, if it's sold off, it's not out in the wilderness. It's being held. It's being owned. Being in the Creative Commons is being out in the wilderness. There's a huge. I get what you're going at, but like I disagree with that statement, because like being out in the wilderness, that's more akin to being in the Creative Commons. You selling it off to somebody, that's not the same thing as putting it into the Creative Commons, unless you're literally being like, I'm going to put it into the Creative Commons, which in that case you're not making any money off of it.
Okay, what I meant to say is, once the 20 years is up, let's say my family forgets, and once the 20 years is up, and it's like a oopsie, and now it's in the Creative Commons where anyone can use it, it's out in the wilderness, so you're not going to make jack shit off of it.
Right.
But if you sell it off to whoever the fuck wants it for however much money, you made your quick buck off of it. And now you're set more for the rest of your life.
Right.
However much it's worth or whatever.
And the original work still exists, even if you do sell it off. Like, the original work
still exists, but is it gonna be worth as much money as what it was when it wasn't sold?
Probably more, because a lot of
it's
times
probably gonna be worth more.
Art appreciates. It doesn't usually depreciate.
Unless it's a car, depending on the car.
Car is more of mechanics.
Well, some Mustangs are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, like the original Mustangs and stuff.
But usually cars depreciate because they break down, they fall apart as they age and stuff. Well, yeah, like that.
If it has 100,000, like a car is only worth if it's like has low mileage. The first, like, there's no Just there's no nothing. It's
Right.
just there's low mileage. Yeah, it's the same engine, the same chassis, same tires, same rims, everything. Everything's the original shit. That's how the work. But if it's modded, extra stuff, the value goes extremely down.
Right.
Extremely down in value.
Which, like, I'd say cars are like they are a form of art, but it's more mechanics and because the reason cars depreciate is
I
because of the
feel like
mechanics.
this is my thing with I feel like a car is a form of art in a way, like you said, but
Yeah.
it there's a fine line between the art aspect. I
Yeah, it's
feel like
more
if
mechanics, more engineering
well,
than
yeah, like, but I'm saying like, how do I put this? Like these old Ferraris. You see how these
right,
old
right,
Ferraris are worth fucking millions and millions of dollars. That like people look at these old Ferraris, Lamborghinis, whatever Fords as a piece of art.
right.
You get what I'm saying? Which is cool in a certain extent. I look at another piece of art in a car as in a paint scheme or a
Right.
livery.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You know how you see some cars and they got these cool ass liveries? That's their form of art.
Yeah.
Showing their art and whatnot. There's like you said, there's many ways of showing art. My way of showing art is like, doing a design in my hair or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Another
Right.
way of showing art is a livery on a car. Which people I've seen there's some nice ass liveries. And it's like it almost puts I wanna say more value into the car in a certain way, shape or form.
Right.
Depending on the thing, depending and whatnot. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's many ways to show an art piece in a car in a way
Right.
and whatnot. I don't know. I feel like car is valuable
But at the
goes a
same
lot.
time, a resale in a car, the original creator doesn't make the money again. They make the money on the
Yeah,
original sale, but they don't make the money on the
yeah,
resale. So it's not even on the same level as other forms of art, which where there's
yeah.
copyright. Which cars they
Where
do have copyright, but it's not like resale like the resale doesn't go to the original owner. Like
no,
one,
no,
yeah,
it doesn't. Unless you seal it back to the dealership. I think
no,
so. Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I think if you
The dealership's not the creator of the car. The dealership bought the car from the company, which that's where the engineer makes the money. So like once it's at the dealership, the engineer's not making the money again.
wait, hold on. Okay. So you know how there's like a Ford dealership, an Audi
Yeah.
dealership, whatever.
Yeah, that's
Isn't
not
that another extent of the company in some way, shape, or form?
a lot of times those are franchises, but yeah, sort of like they have all Fords, so like when the car gets to the dealership, the car is already the dealership's already paid for the car, right? So
Hmm.
then you pay the dealership for the car, so there's like usually a markup on it.
Hmm.
Between and if it's a Ford dealership, it's probably going to be like the bare minimum markup for the dealership to make a profit off of it because the dealership has to make money and the factory that made it has to make money and the engineer that designed the vehicle is going to make money.
Yeah.
But like
So
once it's a
sold,
used car going to the dealership isn't going to make the factory money again. It's going to make the dealership money.
oh, so it's kind of like the video games.
Yeah.
Shit. So you know how like I think GameStop's the only motherfuckers that do this, but you know how GameStop gets used, video games and whatnot.
GameStop's not the only ones that do that, but yeah, like there's still other
Well,
companies out there. GameStop
what
killed a
what
lot of these other companies. Like I know
I was
Disc
gonna say,
Replay, and
I
like
don't know
there's
who that is,
I don't think you have Disc Replay out by you.
but the only companies I knew that did that was GameStop,
Yeah,
and GameStop they make their money off of used shit.
yeah.
They
They don't
want
have any money
used
off
more
of,
than new.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like they'll make a bare minimum off of new stuff. Even though you're paying more for the new stuff, they make the bare minimum off of it.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they make their money more off of used than off of they new.
Right.
That's why they support more used shit than new anyway. in a
Right.
certain extent. That's what I'm saying. Like the video game or whatever shit is kind of like the car dealership, whatever industry.
Yeah,
They
the
make
video
money
game
off
company
of
doesn't make it
used.
again.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
They
that's which
the
is why they're really a lot of these original developers. They really want to push towards digital platforms, which I would like to find a
I
way
love
to.
digital.
I do too, and I would like to find a way to be able to sell off your digital games to where you can put up your game up for use. You can sell your key and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I would
Now,
love for that
now
to be facilitated.
Oculus, you can't do that, right? Oculus, if Oculus server shut down, you're fucked, right?
About what, buying and selling games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have a developer license on mine, and there's other means of being able to download games onto the Oculus. So if the Oculus servers were to shut down, I would still be able to download games onto my headset.
Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, so I love like the digital aspect. I
Yeah.
like the digital aspect has become a big thing for me because you like there's cons and there's good value in a way because with digital you don't have to deal with no disc scratches, you don't have to deal with disc, you just plug and play.
Right, it's all there, and you can just hop between games and really easily.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. But you know like
The bad
like I
part
just
is the
said,
resale. They
is the
benefit.
resale.
Yeah, which that's one of
And
the
if
big
Xbox
reasons.
servers went down,
Yeah,
you lose everything. Which
yeah,
that's why people are so scared to go to digital. Is they want the physical. They want the physical copy because if Xbox servers shut down, whatever, they still have all the physical
well,
shit.
and the big
X-
problem, yeah, because is a lot of it is the DRM, the digital rights management and stuff like that. If like I'm not completely against DRM, but like I would like to be able to actually own my game, because the way that a lot of this DRM is set up, like you don't actually own your game.
Yeah, yeah, you don't own it.
Yeah, like I would like to be able to take my key of my digital game and be able to sell it. And
Which
in
you
that
should
way,
be able to do that. But
yeah, and the company wouldn't make money off of it. Like I would be making all the money off of it, but I'm just recovering from the cost I originally paid. I paid for that key. If I sell that key, I can't play the game anymore.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Which, if that way, I would be fine with DRM, because DRM
I would be
is-
fine
is-
with that
yeah,
too.
DRM is a way to manage whether or not you have the right to play the game. So if I sold my key and I still had the game downloaded on my console, I wouldn't be able to play. I would click on it. It would be like how it already is. It's like you do not own this game. Like if you download a game that you don't actually own, it
Yeah,
would be like
well,
you don't.
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. There's there's a word for it, but it's more I want to say proactive. It's not proactive. It's more it's the proactive means something else, but it's more like public service or whatever the fuck you get. I'm going at.
No.
Not public service, but you get like it's more favored to the public where they're able to have that freedom to be able to do whatever the fuck they want. As in, if they buy a digital game, they can resell with no problem. Like it's a hard packed game, like a physical
Right.
game.
And
and be
there's
able,
platforms on PC that already allow that. Like I've bought
Yeah.
games off of Humble
which
Bundle.
Steam
and stuff
allows
like
that
and
too, right?
and
Steam gives you the keys.
I think so. I think you can sell your keys from Steam. I think you
Yeah.
can resell your games on Steam.
Yeah, which people love Steam for that. People, yes, Steam
Not
does
all
have
games.
its.
Not all games on
Yeah,
Steam.
not all games, but they're getting more into that. And Xbox and PlayStation, Switch, and Oculus and whatever else should be able to allow to give you your key.
Yeah, and if you
Of
were
a-
able to resell it, and the reason they don't want that is because they benefit
It's because,
more.
yeah,
when-
because of money.
Yeah,
'Cause of
because
money.
it's about the selling new and used, and when they have complete control over the DRM, if you're not able to sell your digital game, then everybody needs to buy new copies, and the new copy would be full price. And if you sell a used game, they wouldn't get any money out of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's all
Yeah,
about money.
it
These
is.
companies want to make every dime what you have. They want to
Right.
make every shit.
They
That's
put all
why
this work
Call
into
of
DRM.
Duty.
They put all
Well,
this
that's
work
what I'm
into
saying.
DRM. They should have a way to set up to where we could We could sell our
Well,
used
that's why
copies.
Call of Duty is so much more expensive is because you're no, you know what I'm saying? Black Ops 1 is still $60 and it's 10 years old.
Right.
Advanced Warfare I think is still $60 and it came out 2014. Like that I feel like that's bullshit.
It's because they
I
want
feel
to
like
make all their money.
they want to make all the money even though they made money off of microtransactions, which Advanced Warfare has microtransactions out the ass, just like Black Ops 3 and all the other fucking games. Advanced Warfare should be like $10.
Saying because how trash it is.
No, because it's used as fuck. It's old.
Right.
It's old as shit. It's not like a movie or whatever, even though
But
depending on
used copies of the games are actually cheaper than that.
yeah, that's what I'm
saying,
saying. That's
like-
what I'm, but that's what I'm saying. But in the digital aspect, if you go to GameStop and get Advanced Warfare, you're gonna get that shit for probably like $10. Maybe I'm just guessing, but you know, $10-20. Black Ops one is like what I think what $20, $60 or some. It's fucking still high priced.
Right.
These Call of Duty games. These Call of Duty games weren't $60 at the get go, or not at the go, but like when they started doing backwards compatibility, they fucking hiked up the prices.
They did.
Now every game's like $60. They were once 30, 20, you know, $10. Now they're like $60. I'm like, what the fuck? It's because of backwards compatibility. That is why.
Because they know more people are
compatibility-
playing it, and so they
Yes,
they,
up the prices.
right.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
people already sold their games, so
Yeah,
now
but
they
that's
want
what
them
I'm
back because it's backwards compatibility.
That's what I'm saying. They want to make all their fucking money. That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
And that's Activision being stingy. Activision's stingy ass fucking company. But you don't see EA doing this shit. EA's not, you know, EA's, you know, I think Black Ops 1 is like, what, $30 or some shit. I think not Black Ops 1. Battlefield 1 is like, what, $30 or some shit. Or some shit like that. The Battlefield games are going down in prices.
Right, but they were never
After
as
you-
popular as Call of Duty.
But it's always been Call of Duty versus Battlefield.
Yeah, because they're
Kinda-
like the
it's
next
kinda like
biggest
Black and
shit.
White.
Like,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
they're
Black
like
and
the
White
next
and
biggest
Call.
shit. So
That's what I'm saying. Like you said, Battlefield's never been as big as Call of Duty.
but
I
they're
wouldn't
about
say
as
that.
big.
I feel like
they're pretty
they're
close.
about as big. But
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying though. EA is stingy,
Yeah,
very much. But
but Battlefield
I
was
feel
never
like
their biggest moneymaker. It was more FIFA, and yeah, FIFA's always been their biggest moneymaker.
yeah, it's been FIFA,
Yeah, and then
and
Madden.
Madden, and that's the reason why Battlefield, you know, prices because they make their money off of Madden and the FIFA and shit. You know what I'm saying? But EA's still stingy. But since that Star Wars Battlefront 2 shit happened, they've been checking themselves.
Right.
You-
'cause
you've been
they got-
seeing that.
They didn't just
They-
get in trouble; they got in legal trouble in Europe. And
They
stuff.
got in and then you saw Fallen Order come out. You saw Squadrons come out and
Yeah,
stuff one
yeah.
night and the whole night. And it's all these like Squadrons in single player, but you don't see microtransactions like that. Besides Apex, of course, but Apex is, you know, a shooter.
Right.
See, I don't have a problem with Apex. I feel like they did good with Apex because you get to see how the box works, the microtransaction works.
Right.
In Call of Duty, you don't get to see that. Well, Black Ops 3, in Black Ops 4, you don't get to see the microtransaction works in a way as in the
Well,
value
They
or
Europe kind of forced them to make that's how microtransactions have to work. For them to be able to be allowed in Europe, they had to know the percentages. Pretty much a lot of
Yeah.
the same rules with like gambling and stuff like that, because that's what it's viewed
That's-
as. It's gambling in Europe now. Like, it's not
That's
considered
why I
gambling in the
was
U.S.,
saying.
but it's gambling in Europe.
That's what I was saying. If the government comes into force, people will change. If you bring the government involved, people change in the snaps of fingers. As you see with EA, they even though they're playing and they're trying to change it, they changed like that.
Barely.
You know what I'm saying? Because they did.
Dude, you still see them doing the same shit
Well,
with EA.
okay, yeah,
EA is the
but
biggest problem. Like, what do you
yeah,
like
but I'm saying
with FIFA and shit?
EA would have never put that percentage if the UK never did anything. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't just
EA,
UK. It was all of Europe, like pretty much.
but that's what I'm saying though. They wouldn't have done nothing if all of Europe didn't do something about it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. No change is going to happen unless there's forced to become upon it. That's what I'm
And that
getting
force could come from the government, or that force could come from your pocket, like not buying the game.
That's what I'm saying. And that comes with the gay marriage bullshit, whatever the fucking, the whole fucking night. Nothing will be done unless force becomes upon it. If you get the government involved, people will change in the snaps of fingers. Because the government is no joke. People take the government shit serious. And that's what I'm saying. That's why you saw that's why you saw Activision change in snaps of fingers. Even though they're trying to plead they're guilty also. But that's why you saw Activision change. You saw EA change a little bit. You don't see microtransactions like you see it, but there's no boxes. Besides maybe Madden and FIFA. I think Madden and FIFA have changed a little bit too. I haven't been on it recently. But that's why you see all these companies change, is because of the government, because of force. If there was no force, these Activision, EA, everyone, 2K and all of them will milk this shit. Milk as much as they can. Even though they can wipe their ass with $100 bills for the rest of their lives.
You're not wrong.
They still would try.
You're not wrong with how these. Another way you would be able to stop is if people would decide to not fucking buy it, but people are stupid.
Yeah.
So like
that's another way of force.
Yeah.
That is another way of force.
I'd say like because money is what they care about, and if people were to get fussed up about it and be like, no, we don't want this. If they would vote with their wallets, then
they would
gaming
change.
would go in the direction they want.
Exactly, but
it doesn't happen that way.
Easier. It doesn't happen that way. But the government is a lot easier.
But our government doesn't agree that it's gambling, whereas other governments.
Of course they don't. But UK took a stand, or Europe took a stand. That's why Europe took a stand. That's how these companies change. Is because they want their games in Europe. They want their games in America. They want their games in China, Japan, every fucking.
They lose a lot of money.
They lose a shit ton of money. Man. But that's why. That's why they changed. Is because people got the government. If you wait for people to use their wallets, you wouldn't get nowhere.
Yeah, because people are stupid. Like a lot.
Because people are stupid.
Like
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You have to go to the government. The government is the only way to put to use the axe, to use the muscle, to use your power. I don't know why I put the axe in a form. To use your power is to get the government involved.
See,
that's the only way.
When they're buying the same FIFA game every year just for a roster update.
I know. That's why I don't freaking buy 2K. I don't buy Madden. I don't buy FIFA because it's the same shit every fucking year.
I know you used to buy it. Like I used to get those. I used to get Madden.
I used to buy Madden. I used to buy 2K. I used to get FIFA. No fucking shit. I stopped doing it because it was the same shit, different game.
Yeah, like.
And people, there's this new. No, it's just
they'd add like one new thing, and like
they'll every do tweaks.
Yeah, it'd be like every 5 games they'd actually add something good enough to buy the new game. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a new phone. It's kind of like an Apple phone or a Samsung phone. You don't have to get or Xbox or whatever or PlayStation. You don't have to get the new shit because it's the same shit every year. Consoles that was a little iffy.
Yeah, that was.
But you get where I'm going.
Yeah,
I that was terrible. But you get where I'm going at, like with the new phones and iPhones. You can sit on it. I sat on an iPhone 8 for 3 years.
Right. And
I could have probably done it
longer than that. So.
But I could have probably gone longer.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. The FIFA and Madden, and I don't know if I want to put Battlefield and Call of Duty in these positions too, but FIFA and Madden and 2K and maybe NHL are the same fucking games every year,
Just with a roster update.
just with a roster update. That's really all it is. It's just with a roster update. They do some.
Turn the air on, okay?
Okay.
There can.
They do. They do some roster. They do some tweaks. But if you wait 5 years,
It'll be
you'll see a
big
huge.
enough.
You'll see a big enough difference to get it. But that's what I'm saying, though. People don't speak with their wallets. It's because they don't want to.
they
They
that
would just
peer
rather.
pressure.
Well, it's not just pure pressure. It's I'm gonna miss out on the next
Well, why
game.
why did you buy the next game for 2K when you bought it all the time? Was it because you really wanted that next game, or was it because your friends were getting the next game and you wanted to play with
It
them?
was because my friends were getting
So
the next game and
it's
I
peer
wanted to play
pressure.
with them. Yeah, it's pure pressure in a way. It's because my friends got 2K and whatever. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll get it. And Madden. Oh, okay, I'll get Madden. It was the same shit, different day. It
Yeah,
was the
but
same shit, different
they
day.
always got the new one. You always got the new one. That was
Yeah,
the
but that's what I'm
biggest.
saying. That it's your friends are gonna get it, so you're gonna get it,
Right,
and that's what these
right.
companies know. Their friends are gonna get it, so they're gonna get it.
Right, and then
So
a lot of the reasons these loot boxes people, because like in a lot of these games that had loot boxes, like well Call of Duty mostly, because some games I know that had loot boxes you didn't ever actually get it until you did pay money. Like CS:GO, you could get the box, but you have to also buy the key to be able to unlock the box. Like you never got like
yeah, and
you'd get
people can
boxes.
sell keys in
Yeah, and
CS:GO too, and
you
one,
can sell the boxes and stuff too, because like you
which
have to
that's what I'm saying.
yeah
But see, CS:GO has that mobility. CS:GO has that shit when in EA and in Act, you don't have that mobility to do that shit. It's all in game.
right. And they made like in Call of Duty you get that free loot box every couple levels or something like that. Like boom, you get unlock loot box like every once in a while, and then like you'd be able to get that shit for free. And but then you notice like you'd get your friend that get this really good weapon for free, and you're like shit. I want that weapon. You never
I
fucking
want
get
that
it,
weapon too.
but you pay $100 and you get like 30 weapons. Like
But that's what I'm saying. It's a hash. It's I'm gonna do what my friends does. So
Right.
if their friends are doing it, they're gonna do it. And if they're doing it, other people are gonna follow along with them. And that's why they get these big old YouTubers and Twitch streamers or whatever, because they're doing it. It all comes in a circle.
right.
It all comes into play. You get what I'm saying? People are not gonna do something unless unless they're friends or whatever. Because if you follow your friends, you're gonna do what they're doing, and it either could be good or bad, in life, in video games, or whatever. That's how you get yourself in trouble in a way. No one thinks for themselves. Everyone thinks for them.
For the most part,
And
yeah,
that-
I would agree with that.
And that's how, the little kids, that ask their mommy and daddy for debit card, credit card, come to play also. Because you take advantage of that little kid. The little kid doesn't know it's gambling. The little kid just knows, I want a new Fortnite skin.
Right.
I'ma get it. My friend has a new Fortnite skin. I'ma get it. My friend has a new blueprint for a gun in Call of Duty. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna spend the $20 or $10 to get it.
Right.
And that 10, $20 can go a long way.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they're doing now. These shit or battle passes and all that is evolved around little kids. Gimme. Because they want it. But they don't know any better. Because in their consciously or whatever, they don't
Well,
know.
it's based around that. It's based around FOMO, because like these battle passes and stuff, like fear of missing out. Like let's say like
Shit, I still haven't done the 80s shit that's on Call
Right.
of Duty. I still haven't done it yet.
shit. Like
I still haven't done it.
Yeah, like I've fucking dropped out of doing that stuff all the time. Like I used like when they first did the battle pass in Black Ops 4, I played through it. I did it. I got through everything, and then Modern Warfare came out, and I did it at first, but then like partway through Modern Warfare, I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
I got PTSD just for thinking about this.
Like it was so bullshit. Like it was done. It was not worth paying all the money to buy through it. So I wasn't gonna do that, and that's part of the fear of missing out. Because there's definitely, because I know when Modern Warfare first came out, that's what you did. You bought through it. You bought your way through it, and then I was explaining to you, it's like, you sit there, you're able to play this game all day, and then you could play through it, and that's what you started doing. You're like, oh shit, I could get through this. And I'm like, well, and then I started telling you like, yeah, you're doing that now, but is that really worth it too? And you're like, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like it's just like I'm realizing now. Like it's like Modern Warfare was so much hard to get through because you had to play online for hours and hours and hours upon end. Playing zombies is easy.
I mean, you're still playing hours and hours.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, this is the
You're
thing.
not stressed
You-
out.
Well, yeah, that too, but it's gone down tremendously, but it's still up there. But with zombies, you're going against AI.
Right.
You're not going against multiplayer motherfuckers, and like Die Machine, you just get to go around a circle the whole nine. It's you're just training the whole time. Like you know what I'm saying? You do the pack a punch or whatever. You just train the whole fucking time. Like if that's all you fucking do. You can just rack up points and shit, and you rack up XP.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Call of Duty Core made it more easier to get through the battle pass is because of zombies. If there was no zombies and I had to play fucking multiplayer, I would fucking go crazy. I would lose my shit. Go insane.
So you're saying what they did is like, oh yeah, I'm more than happy to play through. But
I'm
like,
more than happy to play zombies 4 hours for all day than fucking play multiplayer.
I'm glad at least you've gotten past the point where it's like, well, I'm gonna pay through it. I'm gonna just pay through it because like, dude, like, how much money?
That's what Kalen does. Kalen just
What-
pays through it. Oh, I'm just gonna play through it. Fuck you.
You're wasting so much money doing that.
That's what I know, but I'm just saying that's what Kalen does. Kalen just says, "Fuck it." I'm just once I finish it, then he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna pay through it." I've been trying to tell him just play zombies, but he sucks at zombies. But play zombies.
You'll
In
get better
10
if you
in
play
in
it.
40, well, yeah, that's true. But in 40 rounds, I get in like the rank 1 through whatever. I get through it like that. Like I got through 10 ranks in like one day.
Shit. Yeah.
Just going to like round 40, 50 in zombies. But the higher you get, the harder it gets.
Yeah, because it takes more
40
experience, more points to get through it.
That's what I'm
and-
saying. 40 rounds doesn't mean shit after that. 40 rounds doesn't mean nothing. 40 rounds you get through maybe one rank in the battle pass, maybe 1.5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's not like you just get to blow by this shit. No. They slow it down the higher you get. They slow it down. That's how they make their money. So you eventually give up, you say fuck this shit, and you buy it.
Right.
Which I didn't do that. I just did it and fucking called it a day type stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Playing Modern Warfare was so much harder to get through the battle pass because it's like you inched a little bit. Playing you just inched along. So that's why, I would play 10 hours a day just to get through 5 ranks. It took like 10 hours. To get through 5 ranks in Cold War, it takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Depending on what rank you're on the battle pass. They made it a whole lot easier. A whole lot easier. If you played multiplayer, it would take you 10 hours to get through 5 ranks. Because you just inch a little more.
Right. I believe it.
You go a little farther, and a little farther, and a little farther. That's all you do. You know what I'm saying? That's all you do. You just go a little farther. A little farther.
Well, I think we're about ready to call it for the end of this podcast.
I think so too.
It's been
I
about an
think so
hour,
too.
21 minutes. Like, not including the part I have to cut out at the beginning, but I mean, including the part I have to cut out at the beginning, but it's been about an hour, 21 minutes at this point.
Yeah, that's what I have too. Is like an hour, and I have an hour and 19 or whatever. But whatever. But we're gonna call it that.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk to y'all later.
Yeah, this was an interesting talk. Went some windy roads. I'm sure most people aren't gonna get past the whole part where we're talking about the
We gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
Depends. Well, we'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, this was a great copyright conversation. Have a good one.
Peace out, Girl Scout.